Welcome to 15 Books in 20 Minutes Reading Recommendations for Summer. In this program, we will cover how to use NoveListPlus by searching genre. We will also talk about the library's leisure reading guide as well as our reading recommendations form. We'll start with searching genres in NoveListPlus, exploring the leisure reading guide, and locating the reading recommendations form. If you have not ever used NoveListPlus, let me go ahead and explain that it is a great database that the library offers that allows you to find books that you like to read based on genre, which is what we'll look at today, but you can also find books based on mood, the way that it makes you feel, or even certain types of writing styles or characters. So if you are interested, for example, in really likable characters in small towns, we can look that up. That is one kind of framework for searching NoveListPlus. There are two ways that we're going to talk about how to search for genre in NoveListPlus. There are actually multiple ways, but we're going to talk about it using field codes. So field codes seem to be things that an everyday average person that is just looking for new books to read might not know much about. So we're going to demystify that a little bit so that you're able to search NoveListPlus using those field codes to find the kinds of books that you want to read. So one field code is GN, that's genre descriptive, and the second one is GX, that's genre specific. So when you search for GN, you're searching broadly. You're looking at a major genre like mysteries or romance. That's the big umbrella. GX is very specific. You're looking at a subgenre, so cozy mysteries or holiday romances. And admittedly, there's a lot of really great options for searching subgenre, but you might not know all of them. So we're going to talk about how you can find a list of those. So notice here, genre descriptive versus genre specific. You can see here romance versus holiday romance, mysteries versus cozy mysteries, thrillers versus spy fiction. This is just a small portion of the options you have available. So I'm going to show you first how to find the list of genres that you might be interested in searching, and then I will show you the differences between the broader genre and the more narrow one. And then we'll do a live search so you can see how to find the things that you want to read. So this link right here leads to the story elements guide that NoveListPlus provides. And the genre discussion really starts on page 35. So if you scroll all the way down to page 35, you will see genres in Novelist. This is going to show you a couple of different things in relationship to genre. You will see the genre that you're looking at. You'll see a description of it so that you can see what happens in that particular genre most often, and then the various categories or various subgenres available. So notice here, time travel romances, holiday romances, Western romances. So you might love romances, and that's great. You can search very broadly for that genre. But if you are maybe someone who prefers to read much more specific things, maybe you only really like holiday romances, that's okay too. And you can search NoveListPlus with those field codes, searching very specifically. And you'll notice that there's romance. And if you keep scrolling, you'll see things like science fiction, which it's going to have a description of that genre, as well as the various subgenres that you can search for. And you'll find a variety of different genres here with all of their own subgenres available. So this is a list that you can use to search more specifically in NoveListPlus for certain types of genre. So let's go ahead and take a look at the differences between a broader genre versus a more specific one, and then we'll actually do a search of that. So you can see here romance and holiday romance. If we click on romance, this is when I am searching with a very broad term. So you can see up here in the search, the GN romance. So that's the genre descriptive, that very broad field code, and romance. And you'll notice here, there are 45,000 results. That's a lot, which is great. If you're really, really interested in this genre and you're looking for something you haven't read before, there's a lot of options here. But if you are someone who really just prefers very specifically holiday romances, then you click right here. And you can see that we have searched using GX holiday romances up in the search bar. So there's our field code with our very specific genre. And now we're looking at about 1,000 books that are going to be focused very specifically on just holiday romances. That's the genre that they fall into. So anything that doesn't get categorized as a holiday romance gets pushed out. So you can do that with a variety of different genres. You would see the same thing here with mysteries versus cozy mysteries, thrillers versus spy fiction. The much more specific genres giving you fewer results, but helping you to actually access things that might be more to your preference. So we will go ahead and do a live search so that you can see what one of these searches might look like from the beginning to the end. So we will go to the library's homepage, which is cccc.edu/library. And you'll see the search bar here in the middle on the homepage. To find NoveListPlus, we are going to go to databases and we'll go to the A to Z listing. So click on the databases tab and then A to Z listing underneath that. You'll see all databases and you'll click on that and you'll see the letters of the alphabet and then a drop-down menu. You don't need to scroll through all of these to get to NoveListPlus. You can just click the letter N. And you'll see right here, NoveListPlus. We'll go ahead and click on that. Now we're at the homepage for NoveListPlus, and we're going to start our search right here. So you'll see it's a keyword search up here, but we could go ahead and just use our field codes. So let's start with GN, and I'm going to do mysteries this time. So GN mysteries. So our field code and our genre combined, and then we'll click search. And that is going to be a very broad search. I'm going to get a lot of books. Anything that's categorized as a mystery is going to be here on the list. And of course, I can go exploring and I can see what I'm interested in. And that's great. But if I wanted to search just for cozy mysteries, just be really specific about what I want to read, then I will come over here, come back up to the top of the search and use GX, that's our field code, with cozy mysteries. I just want to make you aware that from the homepage, I could have searched directly for cozy mysteries. That is really the wonderful thing about field codes. You can use them to sort of shortcut your search. So now I'll click search here. And you can see here, now I have really filtered out anything that is not categorized as a cozy mystery. And now I can start to explore a little bit. So Triple Chocolate Cheesecake Murder, which I have read and enjoyed. And you can see here, there it is listed under the genre, cozy mysteries, culinary mysteries, gentle reads, and holiday mysteries. So one of the great things about this resource is that not only do you get to see how your results relate to what you searched for, but you also get really good ideas for what else you might search for. So next, I might search for GX, that's our field code, culinary mysteries. And then I would get things that would focus on just those mysteries that relate around bakers or cooking in some way. And that would really give me a very specific kind of result. But if that's what I like to read, or if that's what you like to read, that's great. We want you to be able to read the things that you enjoy. So that is how you do a very broad search and then a more specific search. And you can do those at any point in your search process. Now, maybe you are someone who loves to read based on genre, but maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed with all of this, and that's okay. So we've actually got some ideas for you to help you feel a little bit more confident as you search for the things that you want to read. So one of the things that we have to offer is if you don't know what you like, then you can fill out the reading recommendations form. You can set up a research consultation, or you can come to the library. You can just email me directly. Whatever works for you, you can reach out to the library and we will chat about what you do like. What kind of genres are you interested in? What kind of things do you like to read about? And then using that conversation, we will narrow down to a few specific genres that we can then recommend. And then you have that sort of knowledge to go forward and search as you see fit. So we will be happy to help you decide on what it is that you might be looking for. And you can be creative. Maybe you can say some days you're wanting to read these genres and some days you're wanting to read others. Whatever the case might be, we're always here to help you, and we want you to find good books that you really enjoy. Another option is to explore our leisure reading guide, which I'm going to open up here. We have a lot of really great options on this leisure reading guide. You can see here, we've got some what's new at the library, so you can kind of see what are some of the things that we have available that you can go ahead and say, oh, I'm really interested in this. I want to read this. But if you are maybe not sure where to start, you're just really interested in reading something new and popular, we've got those listed out for you here. NoveListPlus, if you're new to NoveListPlus, you can use this tutorial here to learn a little bit more about how to search for books through NoveListPlus. We also have a tutorial on Hoopla, which is our audiobook and ebook app. It is one of the apps that we get through and databases that we get through NC Live. And so Hoopla is really great because you can sort of decide if there's a book that you want to find and see if we've got it available through audiobook. And this will show you in the tutorial how to set it up on your computer, but also you will be able to do the same thing on your phone. You can, if you have a smartphone, you can download the the Hoopla app and then find books that way. You can search based on genres. So if you're really more interested in very broad genres, you can start here. You can also look at some books that we've already curated for you. This is based on mood. So maybe you don't have a genre preference. Maybe you're more interested in books with certain qualities. You can see here we've got them labeled and we've picked out some books for you that you might be interested in. So these are your 15 plus books that might help you get started in finding books, even more books that you might like to read. So we have suspenseful novels with strong sense of place. There's a good start for that. If maybe you're looking for something funny and upbeat, we've got some books for you selected here. So it really just depends on what you're interested in, and this may help you get started on that. We also have a reading recommendations form, and that is available here on the guide as well. You can fill out this form here, and then we will respond to you and give you 5 to 7 books that you might be interested in reading. That is also something that you can fill out as many times as you would like. So each time you fill it out, we will send you 5 to 7 books. And all you would need to do is tell us your name, your email address, 3 books that you liked, anything that you're interested in or not interested in, 5 qualities you look for in a book, and then you can tell us anything else you think we ought to know, maybe something you don't want to read, or maybe a genre that you really love, or anything that you think would help us to pick books for you, because we would be happy to find books that you want to read, not just what's popular, but something that makes you feel positive and brings you a lot of joy. And then if you are looking for something more direct, maybe you just want book recommendations, here is the link for you to fill out those book recommendations and get them right away. So you can just go right to that link and go ahead and fill out the form. You are also welcome at any time to set up a research consultation We won't have to talk about research. We can talk about books, and we can help you figure out what you like to read. So if you would like to go back to the library's homepage, you can go to the Help and Contact tab and then make an appointment. And you can just set up an appointment. You pick a time and a day, click continue, and then you can just tell me your name, your email address, where you'd like to meet. And this one says, tell me what project you're working on or what class. You don't have to do that. You can just say, I want to find books to read, and then confirm the appointment. And then I'll reach out to you and we'll meet and we'll talk about what you might be interested in reading and how I can help. Feel free at any point to reach out to the library, because we would love to support you in your love of reading and in using the library to help you find the books that you enjoy.